Okay, so let's unpack a really fascinating business problem facing a brand that pretty much everyone knows, Hallmark. They're trying to connect with Gen Z, and it's forcing them to ask this huge fundamental question about their entire strategy. And honestly, it's a showdown between the company's image and the very products they sell.
And really, their entire challenge boils down to this one simple-sounding question. It might seem easy, but for a classic brand like Hallmark, a company that's been around forever, the answer could literally define its future.
So, what does Hallmark do? The company famous for greeting cards and all those holiday movies? Well, they're going straight to the source. They are literally asking teenagers to help them solve this. They're basically saying, hey, how do we get you all to be more interested in what we do?
And this quote just sums it up perfectly. It really gets to the heart of the matter. And this isn't just a Hallmark problem, It's that age-old business debate. Should you pour money into marketing to change your image, or should you pour it into making your actual stuff better?
So, Hallmark is kind of standing at a fork in the road here. They see two clear paths forward. The first one is all about perception, how they show up in the world. The second is all about the product itself, what they actually design and sell. So let's break down what each of these paths really involves.
All right, first up, let's explore Path 1. We're calling this the vibe, and this strategy is focused 100% on brand image and marketing.
So what do we even mean when we say the vibe? Well, we're talking about things like their ads, their social media game, and just that overall kind of hard-to-define feeling a brand gives off. But the big question is that enough? Can a cool vibe alone really win over a whole new generation?
Now let's completely flip the script and look at the second option. Path 2 is all about the cards themselves. The thinking here is, hey, maybe the marketing's fine, maybe the product is what needs an update. This means getting into the nitty-gritty of the greeting cards. Like, should the art style get a total makeover? Should the words on the card actually sound like how young people talk? What about brand new features, or just completely different kinds of artwork? This is a total product-first approach.
But here's the kicker. Hallmark isn't just looking for a bunch of random opinions. No way. They are asking for a structured, persuasive pitch. They want a real business case, and get this, they've provided the exact framework for how to build it.
In that framework is something called CER. It stands for Claim, Evidence, and Reasoning. Now, it might sound a little academic, but it's actually a super simple but really powerful way to structure an argument. It helps you move beyond just what you think and into what you can actually prove. So how does it work? It's pretty straightforward. First, you make your claim. That's your big idea, like Hallmark should focus on the vibe. Then you provide the evidence. This is the data, the research, the examples that back you up. And finally, you have the reasoning. And this is the most critical step. You have to explain why your evidence proves your claim is the right move. It's where you connect all the dots.
Okay, we've got the two paths. We've got the framework to build an argument. Now it's time to put on your strategist hat.
Because ultimately, this whole thing is a mission. The challenge is to take real research and solid evidence and build such a compelling case that you can show a major company how to connect with your generation. That's pretty powerful stuff. And that leaves us right where we started, with that final question. If you were the one in that boardroom, preparing your big pitch with that CER framework, where would you focus? Would you argue that changing the perception is everything? Or that at the end of the day, the product is all that truly matters? The vibe or the cards?